This is the LEGO Star Wars Summer 2022, set number 75338, Ambush on Ferrix. With 679 pieces, it retails for $70 in the US. That's really expensive for what it looks like you get. This set is based off the new Andor show, so some information in this video might not be up to date because I'm filming it before the show has come out. There's some pretty decent side box art, and while you're looking at it, maybe consider liking the video. And the back of the box, of course, highlights a bunch of functions and shows that this ship is much more dynamic than it may at first appear to be. Par for the course on the instruction manual. All the parts are split into 6 total numbered bags. Kind of forgot what I usually say at this point. I'll just build the set. Our Cassian Andor minifigure looks substantially different than he did last time we saw him in 2016-2017. He's now got a different skin tone from LEGO, as well as some very nice flowing hair. So definitely some changes to Cassian Andor. The beard, the grin on his face looks great, and the clothing is just immaculate. Got a very continuous print from the torso to the waist to the legs. And if we look around back, got a pretty simple standard back print with what looks like a hood to be down, and he's got a different style blaster than most characters are seen handling. Next up, we have Luthen Rael. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Again, recording this before the show comes out. But a bit of a Tobias Beckett vibe to me. Certainly that hairpiece helps pick up on that a lot. The torso, the legs, the waist, again, getting those prints that really flow down the figure, always my favorite. Then we, again, have a different style blaster than like the normal clone and Stormtrooper blasters that they give the characters. So I really like that. And there's his second face. Dare I say more wrinkles and certainly a little bit of an angrier look. Next up, we have Syril Karn, and, big Bespin Guard vibes on this one from me. I love this figure. I don't know if it actually is a Bespin Guard. Maybe in the show it will turn out to be, probably not. But either way, the outfit is extremely similar. Definitely would have liked a bit more detail on this figure for the legs and the arms or something. Like, there's just not a lot there. And in 2006, our Bespin Guard got arm printing. So, like, where is it at? Anyway, there's your back print. Very detailed. No second face because it would be very easy to be seen on the backside there. And the helmet, or hat rather, does have a little print on it, which is nice, I guess. But I'm looking for a little more here. The side build for this set is a really nice looking speeder bike. It's kind of a unique shape and size for a LEGO Star Wars speeder bike, it feels like. It's definitely in a color scheme that we certainly haven't had before with this dark tan and dark gray color. I really like that. Nice accent of dark red as well. We've got this wire that kind of runs up the middle of the bike there. Really like that. And then there's a couple seats, so you can have Cassian Andor seated at the front. And of course, you can always grab the handlebars if we angle the hands properly. There we go. And then with Mr. Rael, he can go behind him, and just like that, you've got both minifigs on the speeder bike. I think that is a pretty slick look. There's a look at the back end. Yeah, very nice speeder bike. Definitely one of the better bikes of all time for LEGO Star Wars. And here we have the mobile Tack Pod. That's what LEGO calls it on its website. And to me, it definitely has a lot of Republic gunship vibes. And I think that may get a lot of purchases from some Clone Wars fans that kind of want this gunship-esque looking, Imperial looking vehicle. Like, definitely getting the vibes there. And I must say, it's a very nice looking vehicle. There's also this really neat single blaster on the very front of it, which I think looks awesome. And then if we look to the underside before we take a look at more of the exterior, you can see that's, nothing crazy going on there. I think the building techniques used here are phenomenal to create this flawless look on the front end with some very unique angles all just coming together, and it just works. And sometimes you don't get that with LEGO Star Wars. Really just like the way that looks there. Of course, all kind of tiled off with some intermittent studs on the side. You do have some sticker detailing here on the right, and then you're gonna have another sticker in yellow down on the bottom right as well. I think that adds a nice splash of color to it. In case you missed me doing it, the wing does fold up and down, and it actually looks really cool doing so. When the wing is moving like this, you can kind of see this whole piece rotating, and I don't know, that just looks really cool to me. As we flip it to the back, you'll see the engine detail. No thrust color coming out of the back. That's actually a little bit disappointing. That's usually a thing that they get in on sets like this, but for whatever reason, the pieces at the back did not allow that to happen. Just like on the Republic gunship, this large panel on the back can be pulled down, and unlike the Republic gunship, it doesn't actually lead to the inside. It does, however, hold a weapon on that side, and it's got an empty clip on the other side that could hold another weapon. It shores up the backside nicely, very tight with the angles again. It's something this set does really well is closing off those gaps. This other wing here, you can see that yellow sticker, same on both sides, and there's actually a yellow sticker on the other side that I didn't show you. So that's really nice. Now on the top of the mobile Tack Pod, there's an awesome turret here. It's got double stud shooters on the sides of it, and it just looks phenomenal. This is definitely reaping the benefits of that new stud shooter piece because it fits so much better into the design than the old stud shooter piece would. And it actually makes use of flat stud tiles, so it's actually not the full stud piece, which is really abnormal. Usually you get the actual stud piece, but this is just the tile stud piece, so that's just something else kind of unique to this set. And this, of course, spins 360 degrees, and you can move this up and down with a pretty great range of motion. It looks great, and I think it functions perfectly. That's awesome. Very tiled off as well on the top of the set there. And that brings us to the cockpit area. So it's using the Speed Champions windshield cockpit screen piece, and of course, because of that, it's printed. LEGO prints all of those elements, and that is a fantastic thing for this set because putting stickers on clear windshield pieces is a pain and typically ends up looking bad, so getting them printed is just great. Now, getting this thing, of course, is really simple. Just move the turret slightly out of the way and pull the windshield piece up. It's even got some side paneling there. I mean, that's a fantastic design on this thing. Very big fan of that, and you can see what it looks like underneath when lifted. Nothing going on, no control panels under there. However, once you're inside, there are some very nice control panels. I mean, these are some fantastic stickers. Obviously, they're still stickers, but they look really good, and they have a very unique design. I haven't really seen a control panel like this in a LEGO Star Wars set before, so I do really like and appreciate that, and there's smaller ones on the left and the right there, so I think those look fantastic. And then kind of like, instead of antenna pieces to control it, just some small top of bottle pieces, basically, that they've repurposed for this. Cyril is going to be piloting this thing, so he can sit right on down into that brown seat, and they have plenty of space there for that full-size brown seat. I think it looks fantastic, and then if you close that up, you'll be able to see Cyril in there. That is just a really good-looking cockpit, just a lot of space there that's really appreciated. And then if you want to get into the bulk of the rest of the interior, all you have to do is pull these big panels on the side down. That's just super simple to do, super intuitive. Pull it down, very easy. And then the way they show it on the back of the box is actually they have these like wings lifted up, so maybe this is its landed position, like completely like that. And so that's kind of how it would land, and then of course the flight mode, this would come down. Although we haven't seen enough from the show, at least as of the recording of this, to know that that's exactly how it works in universe. Now, perhaps the most disappointing thing about this set is that we've got our other two minifigs on our speeder bike, we've got our pilot piloting this thing, but who are they transporting? Where are the figures that get transported inside the mobile Tack Pod? Is it supposed to be stormtroopers? Is it supposed to be clone troopers? Is it supposed to be just other named characters? I don't know, but I definitely feel like that's what's missing from this set, especially at the $70 price tag. I mean, they put all this time and effort into a beautiful looking interior with plenty of space. You've got 4 separate seats, but absolutely no minifigs to fill them, and that's just disappointing. There's a fire extinguisher, which I find interesting. It's just on a single stud in there, and then there's actually this crate, which is completely empty, so that's another thing that I find odd. Usually, when there's a crate in a set, there's something inside of it, but in this set, there's just nothing. But for as small as this build is, I'm really impressed with that interior. I think it's fantastic. I just wish there were figures to go in it. And it should come as no surprise that the mobile Tack Pod is very swooshable. It's a very solid build. Not a lot of pieces shaking there when I shake it. Like, you can play around with this thing, and certainly if you're going to buy it as a gift for kids, it's going to go over pretty well with them too, as a playset to swoop around and fire off your stud shooters at the speeder bike trying to get away, or perhaps take it on itself. Like, there's a lot of good play there to be had. From a collector's perspective, this is a pretty good looking set. It's got some decent figures. I think it would fit in nicely on a display. It obviously is the only Andor set as of now, so it's yet to be seen what might complement it well also from the Andor series. I think 3 minifigs here is insane. I mean, my minimum on a $70 set for LEGO Star Wars, ideally, you know, especially a set like this that has space for minifigs, would be 4 minifigs. And this is one of those sets that definitely a lot of people have been thinking is overpriced, and I'm in agreement. I think $70 is just too much for this. This is definitely a wait for a sale type of set. I mean, yeah, the new Andor figure is nice, and if you do end up really liking that Andor show, it's a good reason to go out and get this, but I still wouldn't advise paying the full $70 for it. And it's all relative with LEGO. The real issue here is you do have a set like the Inquisitor transport ship that costs just $30 more, and it's just so much bigger. And yeah, this, quite frankly, is just ridiculous for $70. This one's an 8 out of 10. It either should have been $10 less or had another minifigure, plain and simple. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section below. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed, and you can see more 2022 LEGO Star Wars set reviews on the end screen now.